Gibraltar has always been built on hard work, resilience, and entrepreneurship. From family-run businesses to modern startups, local entrepreneurs continue to shape the Rock's economy and community. Behind every successful business is a personal story of sacrifice, determination, risk, and passion. Talking Business explores the people behind the businesses and the journeys that brought them to success. Today on Talking Business, I'm joined by Leon Thicke, a 20-year-old entrepreneur and also winner of the Startup Grind Gibraltar Pitch Battle 2025. So, Leon, you're 20 years old. You recently won the pitch battle at Startup Grind Gibraltar. Tell me a little bit about that experience for you.
I mean, being in the Startup Grind is something special to me anyway. From the initial thought, I didn't think about being in the Startup Grind, but Denise actually convinced me to do the Startup Grind because I had a few businesses going and I was starting my second business, which was called Your Front Desk. And then over time, Denise slowly convinced me to do it. And then before I knew it, I was standing on a stage, talking to everybody else and pitching my battle. I loved it. I can't say any more from it. I really enjoyed the pitch. I enjoyed the people around it. I think I would definitely do it again.
So what made you want to become an entrepreneur at such a young age? Take me back to that.
I mean, everyone's initial thought is money, but for me it was just I never wanted to be a number. So I just never wanted to be able to be replaced. And slowly I am achieving that. But from a young age, my first initial business was cutting people's hair. I only did it because the barbers weren't cutting my hair correctly. So I just started cutting my own hair. Now I get my hair cut by a barber's because I don't have the time. But growing up, and then at like 16, I started selling shoes. I started doing all these different online Shopify websites. And then at 17, I got my first Airbnb property.
Okay, so once you got into property management and Airbnb, was that something that you immediately thought, oh, there's something here for me?
Not initially. I just knew I had to do something. And when something comes across your table, you take it. I didn't know anything about Airbnbs. I didn't know anything about running a property. I didn't understand it whatsoever. But then I looked back into the actual logistics of it. Gibraltar makes income out of 3 different ways. One of them is tourism. So tourism, Gibraltar receives over 12 million people every single year purely from tourists. I then promised this person who had an apartment that he would do a long-term rent. I said, no, we can earn more money if you were to put it on Airbnb. At the beginning, it was a struggle. Don't get me wrong, it's a difficult thing. Cleaning apartments, keeping everything up. Because I started cleaning up all the apartments at the beginning. Now I have cleaners. But at the start, I was cleaning 7, 8 apartments every single day. And starting from the first one, when I first got the keys, I was just in shock. Because the apartment, it's still to this day one of my favorite apartments. It's just around here in Marina Club. It's a great apartment.
So whilst other teens and 20-year-olds are doing stuff which is fun, you were cleaning apartments. What has been the driving force for you to think, I'm just going to get stuck in and work?
My father went when I was 16, so things were not really in order and I had to find my feet in places. I didn't know what I'd be doing and I knew I needed to do something. So in my eyes, it came across the table and I just took it. It was the only thing that would have worked to me at that age because can't really open up a company at 16. Can't really do many things at 16. So running a property was the only thing I could have legally have done while still being in school.
Okay.
And school wasn't really for me, to be fully honest. I failed my GCSEs the first time round. Mm-hmm. The second year round, I didn't even go to them. And then the third year round, I was like, okay, this is when I had my first Airbnb property. I was like, just in case, I'm gonna get my GCSEs. And then I secured the rest of them. And that is where I actually started doing my IT background.
Okay. Well, I mean, at least, when life has thrown hurdles at you, you found ways to overcome them. And that's a very brave thing to do. Tell me a little bit more about the company you run now, Your Front Desk.
Your Front Desk is like a centralized dashboard for Airbnb hosts. We built a system where everything's automated, payments, messages, cleaning workflows, everything is just fully automated. All I do is press a few buttons and send out payouts at the end of the month. But at the beginning, it was a complete struggle, handling over 10 apartments, all these guest issues, all these guest problems. I knew there was a gap in the market that needed to be built and used. So essentially, I was building a solution for myself, and now other people are using it just purely because it's a better system than what's currently out there.
Okay. And who are the kind of customers you work with? What kind of properties are you managing?
Well, currently it's a wide range of people. There's people from UK who buy their second home in Gibraltar. And for me, I just don't like seeing properties empty. I just really don't like seeing properties empty. You need to turn it into an income that's constantly coming in. So people from UK and the Gibraltarians who have 2 to 3 homes, who often let their kids stay in the apartment throughout the summer. Those are the type of people that are currently working with me.
And what problem are you solving for them?
Well, any person who has more than 2 homes usually has a significant amount of income. That also comes in having a limited amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
Me being young, I had more time on my hands than the average person, mostly because I worked 18 hours a day, but it was something that I could benefit from.
You have the energy for?
Yeah, I had the energy for, exactly that.
Okay. So why Gibraltar? Do you think this is a solution that can work beyond?
It definitely is a solution that can work beyond Gibraltar. I mean, I'll go back to it. Tourism is great for Gibraltar. People come to Gibraltar for the monkeys, but then they pick a traditional place like a hotel to stay in,
mm-hmm.
which for me, I don't travel abroad and I don't stay in a hotel. I pick an Airbnb. So Gibraltar for me was the best place to start, and I do see it going globally, which is partly of the end goal, which is starting soon. So.
Okay, fantastic. So what have you learned about what guests actually want when they come to Gibraltar?
There's 3 things. Seamless check-ins. No one wants to not know how to get inside the apartment. No one wants to struggle to get in. No one wants to have issues on how to get from the apartment to the border, to the apartment, to the taxi service. And then there's cleanliness. Cleanliness is superior above any of the rest. No one wants to walk into a dirty room, ever. And then always having a host that's always there, which is where Your Front Desk came in, which is me not physically being there, but building an AI that would always be there is something that changed the game for me.
And you've just signed up one of your biggest clients, which is Victory Suites. How did that partnership come about?
To go back, I was starting I still have it. I was starting a real estate company, and I wanted to build an app for online real estate, something I can't go fully into just yet, and I needed someone to build it for me. I found someone, but I couldn't manage their payments for it. He then introduced me to Sean Adams and Max, and from that moment on, I just ended up taking the whole building, which is it's over 100 units on the Airbnb. There's 251 apartments. It's an apart hotel, fully serviced apartments. Partly is residents, and the other half are apart hotel guests. The benefits from that is you have everything all in one building. So everything's pretty much simple. We have the TT locks, everything's check-in is seamless from getting into the apartment to settling down.
And what's it like managing such a large number of properties for you nowadays?
Well, I've never managed an apart hotel, so everything was new.
Mm-hmm.
Everything I did was it was something I had to learn as I'm going, and still to this day I'm learning about. Sitting down and signing contracts with people, it's something I've never done. Of course, there's the odd few contracts which are simple, but having to sit in boardroom meetings is something that changed the game for me, especially when at this age, people don't believe that you can actually continuously grow and walk into a room and people will actually listen to you. Whereas age doesn't actually matter in business. It's actually the success and the numbers that talk rather than the actual age of the person. So just have your facts.
So obviously on that note, you're young, but you're confident. Do you think that's something that is part of your character, or have you built your confidence up dealing with high-end people like in the business?
It was part of my character. From a young age, I always was very confident from my mother. My mother was a very confident person. She's always someone I always look up to as well. But being confident is something you need to have if you need to have success in the world. Don't be confident without being stupid within it. Be confident within yourself and your capabilities. If you're unable to actually do something, that's where the confidence actually kicks in. Having the confidence to say, I can't do this. Give me 2-3 days, let me figure it out, and then come back to the same person and be, okay, I figured it out, now we can do this.
I'll tell you a little anecdote about Oscar, who was 7 when I got Startup Grind. And I said to him, what do you think I should do? Because, you know, kids are very honest. And he said, Mum, I think you should be confident, but don't be overconfident, because nobody likes overconfident.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
And I love that. It stayed with me this whole time. So it's good to hear that you feel like confidence is a good thing, but not to push it in the wrong direction, because you don't want people to sort of dislike you for that. What would you say has been the hardest part of building a business at just 20 years old?
Time. Time has always been the hardest part. Being young, you want everything done yesterday. Whereas at least my business wasn't built overnight. It needs to be built over a time period of confidence with the owners of the apartments, owners of buildings. You need the confidence within them. You need to be able to speak to them clearly and respectfully. But time is still to this day the hardest thing. I mean, it's struggled to get me on the phone nowadays, but...
True story. As you're building on your experience and becoming an entrepreneur, how many people have impacted you, and would you say you've met anyone who's become a mentor along the way?
I didn't really believe in the exact word of mentor. I believed anybody older than you and had more experience than you was a mentor. So I always treated everybody as a mentor. I always learned that they were older and they had more knowledge. And for me, knowledge was a key impact of everything that I've achieved. Knowledge is always worth more than the money in my time. But to pick a few mentors, I'd love to say Max Anderson.
Yeah.
Max, he's a development project manager. He's someone who's always been there whilst I've been, although he doesn't understand tech, he's been able to help me throughout the whole period of everything that I've been building. He's always there if I need a call. And Roy Bar-Aviv, who is a tech leader, very well in tech, and he's another person who's helped shape the way I look into tech.
Where do you think your front desk will be in 5 years' time?
Well, it's a difficult question to ask because businesses change over time, but the generic answer is for it to be a global business, to be handling jurisdictions across the rest of the world. To say in full, to have your front desk be every single person's centralized dashboard where you not only want to do Airbnbs, but watch things. That's a key input that no one knows about yet.
Amazing. So you feel unstoppable?
If things stop you, there's usually a reason. If you're having problems, there's usually a reason. As long as you can overcome them, yes. So go back to your question, yes.
Good. So I think locally it's not the norm for a young person to want to go into business as a career because you have so many options here to do anything, go to university. What would you say to a young person who's thinking about opening a business? Would you recommend it or would you give them any advice?
I would recommend opening a business, but it needs to be within you. You need to actually want to open a business and don't struggle trying to find a business. Every now and then you just need to look into the mirror a couple of times and really think, what problems am I facing in my life? Can I build a solution for it? Most of the times you can. Especially nowadays with AI, you're able to build anything you put your mind to. Opening a business is something that will come with headaches. So unless you're able to withstand headaches, probably don't open a business, but you should be able to anyway. Your body is more capable of things than you believe you are.
So would you say when you're from a younger generation and you're exposed to all these new technologies, you have an option to sort of pick those up and embrace them in a way that maybe an older generation doesn't?
Yeah, we definitely can pick up new things a lot faster than the old generation. Every person that I know has grown up with a phone. So that's just a key fact of things that can change your life overnight. Just spending that last 20 minutes before you go to bed, instead of scrolling on TikTok, learn something new. Do that every single day for the next 20 days, 20 minutes. And you'll likely be very good at the next thing you attempt to do. So I think you should definitely learn more.
So you were recently part of the Startup Grind Gibraltar pitch battle and you ended up winning the competition and gained some funding for your business, your front desk. Tell me a little bit about the experience and how that was for you.
I'd never pitched to anyone to that extent before. So for me, it was something that I was new to and also pretty afraid of doing. For me, it was just purely about trying it out, testing it and see what came from it.
Okay.
And then as soon as I finished the actual pitch, people were then reaching out to me to then build systems for them. And it was the other way always for me. I was always cold calling people, reaching out to people who had never met me before. So it pretty much changed the way people saw me here.
So in terms of the competition itself and preparing for it, do you think that you acquired any skills? Did your network become more powerful, or what were the best parts for you in terms of going through that process?
My network did become more powerful. There's a saying, your network is your net worth. I believe in that saying, but it's not something you need to actually do and try so hard within. People then became curious in what you were building, which was for me the biggest thing. Having people actually be interested in what you're doing, not just doing it for yourself, but then doing it for other people.
So do you feel that to be able to be an entrepreneur and have some form of success, there is an element of a work ethic that differentiates you from other people?
You can be a lazy entrepreneur if you only want to reach to a certain amount, to a certain point of scale. There's many people who have managed to be entrepreneurs and don't really do too much, but they have a really good product.
Okay.
So it just goes back to having that problem that you're fixing for someone. If you only want to fix a problem 20 times a month, that's your scale for the whole month. But you will still live happily. But as soon as you want to reach the next goal, your work ethic won't allow you to. So it depends what you want to see in your life.
So Leon, you talked a little bit about your childhood and it wasn't exactly the easiest time in your life. And I feel like when life puts you in survival mode, you can either thrive or make bad choices. In your case, do you feel like it made you thrive?
For me, it was not. My childhood wasn't exactly hard. I always got taught that my mother grew up in Brazil. That's a hard childhood. Growing up in a country where everything's pretty much easy, that's not a hard childhood. I don't have to wake up every single day and struggle. I may determine struggle in my life, but as soon as you put yourself in somebody else's shoes, it's not a struggle. It's something you have to withstand and keep going through. You have to be able to learn and keep learning and keep thriving and making sure you don't ever repeat the same mistake twice. Just make sure the mistakes are being learnt from and not repeated. Childhood is something that everyone has to do. Struggle, everyone struggles. Everyone has problems, but you have to be able to withstand it.
Yeah. Sounds very mature for a 20-year-old, but I have to say, so fast forward to a new Gibraltar, we now have an open frontier. How is this going to impact the business you run?
Well, the benefit for me was I knew this would eventually happen. So I opened up a real estate company.
Yeah.
Attempting to get ahead of the curve. It's called Vita Nova, stands for New Life in Latin. For me, the property market will rise. That is my honest opinion. Because now Gibraltar isn't looking so much at Gibraltarians to buy homes. It's looking for foreigners that qualify for Cat 2 licenses. So any person that qualifies for that license would then be open to buying a home, no matter where they're from.
One of the questions I like to ask all my guests is, Leon right now is?
I'm happy where I am. I look forward to building the team around me. I've attempted to hire people in my past. It's never gone to the way I've wanted to. So if there's anybody out there that's interested in actually working with a work ethic that doesn't stop, if you're willing to put the hours in, please, even if you don't have the knowledge of any of the industries I'm working within, if you're open to learning, you're more than welcome. But I am happy with the current team I have. Victory Suites, just to name drop some few now. Sean Adams, Max Anderson, Ben Bagu, Charmaine Desai, which is a lovely lady. I am very happy with my team, but it's now time to look at the bigger picture and build the people who come within it. Become an artist and write the image that needs to be written. Obviously, my mother plays a big part in everything I've achieved and built. She's someone who will always be there, hope to Lord. But I just look forward to it.
So Leon, thank you so much for joining me. It's been a real pleasure talking to you. Obviously, I have a special place for you in my heart also, because I admire you as a young person for your work ethic and for the way you speak about your mother. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope the viewers enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching.